Hey folks, welcome to week 12 and the rise of retcon. So we're going to focus on the rise of Skywalker this week. So how do we end this thing? Episode 9. So the mixed reception of The Last Jedi would seem to have been the catalyst for the film that became The Rise of Skywalker, which in my opinion comes off like a 2.5 hour apology for the previous film. And I'm sure some people feel that that's probably earned. I'm on the fence with that. But all of the wheels and gears were already spinning in this direction in 2017 when the original writer-director, Colin Trevorrow, was fired from Episode 9 and replaced by J.J. Abrams. The original idea was to have a different writer and director for each film, after Abrams originally declined to do more than one. So he did The Force Awakens, and as he was doing that, they said, hey, you want to do more? And he's like, no. But somewhere along the line, Kathleen Kennedy decided that maybe she didn't like that idea so much anymore. And it was her idea to begin with, just putting that out there, because she didn't like where the overall story was going. So Trevorrow was fired, or he left because of creative differences, which is a very common vernacular with Disney and the whole Star Wars thing. And Abrams ended up coming back into the fold. But Trevorrow already had a script finished called Duel of the Fates, which is named after a favorite John Williams song from Episode 1. I'm sure you folks know what it is, you know, Darth Maul, whatever. And supposedly it was pretty awesome. And it linked up pretty seamlessly with The Last Jedi. And neither of those two descriptors really could be said of The Rise of Skywalker. It doesn't link up and it's not awesome. If you want to read it in its entirety, it's here. So here's the Duel of the Fates script. Get it while it's still there before it disappears. So the file's pretty big, and a download is going to take a little while. So just, you know, you're going to be waiting while it downloads. It'll still do it, though. And if you don't, there are going to be some summaries in this week's reading assignment, which talk about what the film was about, differences from The Rise of Skywalker, etc. So none of this was actually due to the toxic fallout from The Last Jedi. All this was happening before that. It hadn't even been released yet. But perhaps Kennedy suspected that a course correction was needed to get back to Abrams' original ideas for the series resolution, which I will point out, he originally didn't care enough about that to even write the stuff down or to shoot it. So he's like, yeah, do whatever you want. Plus, firing writers and directors is kind of Kathleen Kennedy's specialty. It's what she excels at. The film we did get, The Rise of Skywalker, manages to possibly be the exact film that Abrams would have made if The Last Jedi never existed. Snoke's death, fixed. He's still dead, but his lack of importance is settled, scientifically. Rey's parentage, fixed. Kylo's just kidding in The Last Jedi. Just made that shit up. Just talking shit. Rose Tico, she's back to the background again because everybody hates her. Luke Skywalker, miraculously resurrected, and he's ready to save everybody. Just kidding. He's still dead. But his Force Ghost is ready to take back all the really bad things that he said about the Jedi. I mean, he's just so sorry for all that bad stuff he said about it that was totally true. And as I said, it's an apology. Apologies are better when they're short, and this movie is not short, okay? But there's Babu Freak, voiced by the same actress who was Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Shirley Henderson, national treasure of Great Britain. So Babu Freak almost makes up for a lot of that stuff. So The Rise of Skywalker notes. So it was directed by J.J. Abrams, and the version that you see was written by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, who also was one of the writers on Justice League. If you want to, yeah, I don't know why they'd ask him to do it, but he did it. He's there. And Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly, who wrote The Duel of the Fates. And their names are still attached to it because they would have sued otherwise. You know, you got to put all those people in there. The budget was $275 million. Box office was $515 million domestic and $1.1 billion worldwide. Down a little bit from the previous films. The final film in a 9-film cycle set in a galaxy far, far away. It's definitely no Avengers Endgame, but it's no Blade Trinity either. It doesn't kill the franchise so much as mercifully euthanize it. It wraps up what it needs to wrap up, ignores many questions that need answers, and it introduces many new concepts that fundamentally rewrite the history of the Star Wars movie franchise. Exciting. We've got Force-sensitive clones, Force dyads, Wayfinders, the Sith Eternal Cult, etc. And Disney has been hard at work retconning all of this into new canon media to make it all fit. Even though what's ironic is a lot of it already existed in the extended universe, which Disney made not canon when they bought the company and reorganized everything. So they've been kind of pulling stuff from there and using it, and then they have to like create new media to make it canon again. That's Disney though, okay? But the extended universe has a precedent for absolutely everything out there somewhere because there's just so much stuff, okay? So our synopsis, the Emperor's back. Or maybe he never left. We don't know. And he wants to destroy the New Republic and take over the galaxy with his very own special set of stormtroopers who look totally cool and Star Destroyers, which have big cannons, that have been secretly massing on an unknown planet for years, and everyone is totally screwed unless the rebellion can muster their meager resources and stop him. And Rey and Kylo are doing stuff together with the Force, and it's like weird and crazy and totally new. Luke feels really bad about how he let everybody down in the last movie, and so he's trying to help again as a Force ghost. Force ghosts, man, they're totally worthless. Additional notes, 100% digital Princess Leia. So she managed to be alive during the filming of the previous movie and then died before this one started. So they used outtakes from The Force Awakens and then digitally inserted onto another body, and it's really creepy. Yeah, it looks like Livia Soprano from The Sopranos, 20 years ago. Two women kiss at the end of the film, which would make them the first overt LGBTQ plus representation in the Star Wars trilogies. Apparently Admiral Holdo was from The Last Jedi was also gay, which makes her an even better fanboy hater punching bag, because everybody, yeah, whatever. That's part of that whole hater thing that happened with The Last Jedi. Everybody really hated her almost as much as Rose Tico. But it does fit kind of perfectly into the Disney J.K. Rowling idea of representation. That whole, oh, didn't you know Dumbledore was gay? Yes. It's never in the text, but I'm just saying it now. Cool. Everything's good. That's Disney. Several fan theories suggest that Finn is Lando Calrissian's son, and he's Mace Windu's grandson, which is like really cool and exciting and kind of fits with that whole all the parts go together in Star Wars. In a really simple way, but there's like literally no plausible evidence to back this up, but it is kind of amusing. So there is like also a rumor that like Lando Calrissian is the father of like all of the children in the galaxy too. So there's that one too. All right, that's all I got this week. Enjoy this film or don't.